Hello, everyone. Welcome to Lunch with Linda. I'm Linda Daniels, and you are now inside Northampton Wools. I am so happy to have you here, although today I cannot see any comments, so Kate will keep me posted. I hope you all can show up and say hi. And if you don't catch us live, I heard from a number of people this week that watch the show but watch it later on, and that's great too. I think that if you watch it on YouTube, you might be able to comment even when it's not live, but I couldn't tell you how to do that. So that's beyond my my pay scale right now. But it's a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous September day out there, and we are in full getting ready for fall season. Our new yarns are starting to come in, and I'm going to show you a few of them in a little bit because we've had fun unpacking boxes with the expectation of trying to make room for these new yarns, and knowing that even more yarn is going to be coming in. We're desperate for space to put them in and for items to be knit with it so you can really see what it looks like, and just to be able to enjoy all of these brand new things. So I got a lot of stuff I want to talk to you about. But first of all, I want to tell you a little bit about what we think you should be knitting now so that you have them done in time to enjoy. Because here we are, fast approaching mid-September. Halloween is not that far away. And I captioned this with one Beetlejuice, so that I don't say it 3 times. I wonder, do you have to say it like 3 times in a row? Or is it just 3 times in general?
Oh,
I don't know. We'll have to watch the new movie.
Somebody
I
tell
just
us in the
remember how
comments.
delightful the first movie was, how much fun it was. And now the second one is coming out, so I can't wait to see that.
Marathon.
But this year, we got in a yarn. We've had it for a little while, but I haven't talked about it. That glows in the dark. This is from Circulo, and it's called Amigurumi Glow. And we've had it in the window soaking up as much sun as possible. And of course, we won't be able to show you that it glows in the dark. So you will have to wait and see. I started a Beelteguese juice thing. Just a simple black and white striped. Ooh, I dropped a stitch too. Oh no, that's the end. Black and white stripe, because that's what he has on. A black and white t-shirt, but we're going to turn this cowl. I doubled the glow because it is a thin yarn and I wanted this to move a little more quickly. And I'm using a worsted weight black, just any old worsted weight black wool. And I'm just doing 2-row stripes. But everybody always complains about or tries to solve the problem or wonders what to do about those jogs when you do striped knitting. And I just wanted to quickly demonstrate to you one of the answers. You can find lots and lots of YouTube video on how to do this. And it's really the simplest way is simply to do what I'm going to show you. It is often called knitting into the row below. I just saw a video that called it a knit 1 through the back loop, knit 2 together, which is kind of a complicated description of it and makes you think you're doing more than you are. But basically, I am at the beginning of the black round. This is the first stitch of the round, and this is the stitch that I'm going to do the jogless jog on. And it's actually the next stitch. What I do is, this is where you're gonna have to zoom, Kate.
I'm zoomed.
This is the neck of the row below. I'm going to grab that, and I'm doing this correct to you. If I was doing it, I would have it like this, but I want you to be able to see it. With the right hand needle, I'm going to lift up the neck of the next stitch and put that on the left hand needle, and then I knit that together with the new color. Oops. like that. And then slide both of those stitches off, and then continue to knit with the black. And that is going to end up making the appearance of even stripes. So you can see right in here, there isn't that glitch, that catch. If you look really closely, you will begin to see that each one of those colors really only has one stitch that shows instead of the two for each row, but it makes that almost continuous kind of stripe. So you don't have that little color intersection, because really when you knit in the round, you are knitting spirals. There's no way to knit and then go up another strand. You can do it in crochet, but you can't do it in knitting because it just becomes a spiral. Now this method works really well. It looks really, really neat when you do 3 rounds of each color rather than just the 2 that I'm doing. But I wanted to get a lot of this done and get this done quickly so that we can have it here. When you look closely at this yarn, you know how when you see those white glow-in-the-dark little plastic things, there's this little bit of a icy blue cast to them? That's what you can sort of see in this yarn. We're just not going to get it dark enough. No. So you'll have to come at night, walk by. We'll have this in the window. Walk by and see it. See us and trust. We've tested it. We've done a little bit of it and taken it downstairs in the dark, and it really does glow in the dark. Now the label says that the glow only lasts, how long did it say? Like 15 minutes or something like that.
It's disappointing.
But
who knows if that's true?
Who knows? We haven't tested the time like that. I will have to, we will have to do a little experiment and see how long it actually glows. So this is a very simple way, a very fun way to use this glow-in-the-dark yarn, celebrating the new movie, whose name I will not say, just in case, because we don't need any visitors here. What I really want to do is use that glow-in-the-dark yarn with some of the Halloween doodle charts of ghosts and do a ghost hat, or what I really intended was a top-down sweater with ghosts around the yoke, just for fun. I mean, it's kind of like a Christmas sweater. Some people can wear it all month long, and now we're really pushing Halloween anyway, so you might get more than 1 or 2 wears out of it, but it's just a fun kind of look. I just might try to do that sometime.
I mean, if that's your season, make it last as long as you want.
Make it last as long as you want. I mean, don't we celebrate birthday all month?
Yeah.
Now,
I mean, let's face it, I celebrate fall all year.
You know, Kate's in love with fall. So that's one of the things that you should be knitting with now. If you've got some knitting that you're going to try to do for Halloween, or want to try some fun thing with this glow in the dark, you better think about what it is and come on in and get it now. I don't think this yarn, I don't remember what the price of it is, but it's 100% polyester, of course, in order to make it glow. And like I said, it is a lighter weight rather than a thicker weight, so you might want to double it up. And there's 148 yards in each skein, just enough for an accent somewhere. That's that. The other thing is it's pumpkin time. There's no getting away from it. And Kate has brought her new collection of pumpkins, which are always so beautiful. I mean, wouldn't this make a wonderful centerpiece on your mantle or a dining room table? It's just beautiful. Well, Kate does an exceptional job with these little pumpkins, not the least of which is that she uses stems from pumpkins and gourds and squash. And we're going to give a little shout out. If you've got a pumpkin or squash, cut the stem off and bring it in. Kate can use them. But she dries them out, and then she seals them with a polyurethane like sealer, and then hot glues them onto the pumpkin so they won't rot. They will stay dried. They're almost like petrified. They can even make a little clicky noise when you touch them. But she can use them, but she can use all different shapes and sizes of them as well. And these pumpkins people just love because they're just, well, I mean, they're just really gorgeous and they're pretty simple to knit. I want to get to this one. Look at that stem. That is so beautiful.
There's an even longer stem in there. The very bottom one.
Oh yeah, that's this one.
That is like my wide patty pan.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
And look at this. These white pumpkins are just beautiful. I mean, really, if you make a pumpkin in almost any color, it just really looks terrific. There are lots and lots of free patterns out there. You can find pumpkin patterns that are knit flat, and then you just sew up a seam and crunch together each top, or you can find them knit in the round or on double pointed needles on Ravelry. And we printed out a couple for you to see, ones that we would make recommendations for. One is this pumpkin number 1. It is by Eulina Wojcicki, something like that. And it looks very much like the ones that Kate are making. Again, it's basically just a tube. Once you cast on, you increase dramatically, knit up, and then decrease dramatically, and then you sew together the top and the bottom after you stuff it right in there. That's just sewn together and sewn together up here. And what makes the ridges is a method of sewing around. So you have your yarn on a tapestry needle and you pull over and then you stick it through the center and come up, and then pull over and stick it through the center and come up. So you can make as many sections as you want. Some patterns only have like 4 or 5, but I think they look great. You're doing about 8, right, Kate? 7 or 8 sections.
I find that 5 makes it sort of look like a flower.
Yeah.
And 6 is too symmetrical, so 7.
7 is a good. They just look fantastic.
I just like to think.
And she stuffs them with whatever polyfill she has, or with yarn ends. Another great use for all of your little yarn ends.
It's poly on the wall.
Outside.
Yeah, so that no color comes through.
Exactly.
And then in the middle I do the yarn, and sometimes I'll throw in a little cedar or lavender. Really
nice. Not this one. But that's a great idea, to put a little bit of scent in there, even with an essential oil that you could put a couple of drops in. But one of the other things that Kate does is she uses smaller needles than you think. So one of the yarns that she has used is the Rasta, which is a super bulky yarn from Malbrigo, and that's this pumpkin. So instead of knitting this on a size 13 needle, she probably used an 11, if not even a 10.5. And that makes the knitting very dense, less see-through, and really helps the pumpkin hold its shape, and really makes that indentation. And the Rasta especially, you get that depth of color. Oh, it's just so gorgeous.
It's like so pretty to knit with.
So pretty. So smaller than normal needle. The other yarn that she used was this Rove Soft for these brighter colors. And one of the other things that you'll find if you make them is that when you knit them, they actually end up, the knitted fabric looks kind of tall. But by the time you get done scrunching these ends, these little things in, a lot of them turn out to be a little bit flatter looking. So to make a really tall pumpkin, you would need to knit a lot of inches. And in that case, because I've done it, it's not so easy to get through the whole thing. And so what I do then is, instead of trying to sew these lines through the complete center, I'll take a sideways tack and pull the yarn, and then go to the other side, take a sideways tack and pull the yarn over. So instead of sewing through it, I'm sewing around the top of it, and then that really holds. The finishing touch that you probably won't do is Kate takes a little bit of the yarn and she needle felts it on the very bottom edge. I don't know if you can get close enough to see
Yeah.
what that bottom actually looks like, but it's just a cute little finishing touch.
It's kind of how they look.
It is. They do look like that little suction up
Yeah.
kind of thing. So these are pumpkins that Kate, of course, will have for sale here if you don't want to make your own. She sold quite a few of them last year. And if you're a crocheter, there's also a crochet pumpkin as well. Both of these patterns are free, like I said, and they're not the only ones. There are a lot of pumpkin patterns out there. Look for the free ones because they're really pretty simple to make, and you really don't need to spend money on a pattern when there are so many free ones out there. But have some fun with it. I mean, she's done mostly white and orange pumpkins, but they look great in every color. We've got a gray one downstairs.
I have other colors planned that might surprise you.
Yeah,
for next time.
Okay, and these butternut color ones are really gorgeous as well. I love that one.
And
so
those
cute.
use stems from kabocha squashes, which tend to look a little more gnarly, but I think more natural too.
So I've messed up. We'll let Kate make it pretty. But what a great little cornucopia basket kind of decoration that is, with a couple of little strands of ivy. I think that would be really, really, really beautiful. So that's what you should be knitting now if you want to create a pumpkin patch.
Oh my gosh, we have people watching from England.
Oh my goodness,
and
welcome.
Canada.
Wow, thanks for joining us.
Wow.
So we got in a whole bunch of new yarn. I shouldn't say bunch, I should say we got in boxes of new yarn, and it's going to keep on coming in because even though we opened and put away those 5 boxes of yarn, that's only half the order. And I wanted to show you some of the new stuff that came because it's just so much fun. The first one is this casita, which means cottage, and look at these big, gorgeous skeins of yarn. This stuff feels so wonderfully soft. This is a little bit of a boucle. It has a very, very tiny, I'm not sure you'll even be able to see it until you're close up, but every once in a while there's a little squiggle of the main mohair and it's not actually mohair. Take that back. The reason I got this is because it's alpaca and wool with a little bit of nylon mixed in for strength to keep everybody in line and together. So it's very soft, much softer than just plain mohair. Usually mohair is combined with a silk to make it less itchy. And these skeins are really pretty big. These are 437 yards in this 100-gram skein.
Wowzer.
And we got 4 colors. This beauty, which has pinks and blues. This pastel. I got the pastel. I think maybe there were only 4 or 5 colors in it, but it's not really something that I would make for babies, but I thought the color was really, really pretty. Then we got 2. This has kind of a green, blue, black, so it's meant to be more of a neutral. And then this one is blues and purples, yellow, and the white. And this color, I did one of my September ponchos. It's a free pattern. I think it's free on our website, if I remember correctly. We put it on the website.
Pretty ponchos for September.
Yeah, it's September ponchos. This is just a rectangle that is folded in half and then seamed towards the fold, but leaving a generous opening for your head and neck. And so it lays very
so pretty,
drapey around your neck. And this is done on a size 8 or 9 needle. You could even push it to a 10 if you wanted to, and open it up even more. I knit this one on the tighter rather than looser side. That's what the inside looks like. And on the purl side, a little bit more texture to the yarn than it looks on the knit side. I almost put it inside out. And I think I might do that on a second one because I really like this yarn. I'm so pleased with how flowy it is and just how soft it is. So that's one of the new yarns that we got, Casita. And is this the one? No. All of them are on the website and live with pictures so that you can see the color as well. That's Casita. Now, similar to it, and the reason I'm sitting over here is the poof. Oh my God. All I want to do is hold on to this yarn. Look at this thing. It's just so much fun. This is 90% merino wool and 10% nylon. First of all, that's just mind-blowing because this looks like it should be made out of 100% acrylic, but it's all wool. And the texture that they've managed to create with that brushing is just delightful. Again, this is so soft. It's like, how can this even really be wool? It's meant for 10 and a half and 11. Now, this is the time of year when I'm just nuts, okay? I probably have 14 projects on needles, and then we get a yarn in like this. In 2 days, I made this. Couldn't stop. I refrained from taking one of these home to knit with this. This actually has 3 really wonderful patterns for a shawl and a scarf and a sweater that is just dynamite. I just might capitulate and make the sweater because this color is ridiculous.
So fun.
And it is a little bit of a fade. You can kind of see it here. You're going to get that bright orange to this deeper, even more tangerine orange. You're going to see a little bit of a color fade. I didn't pull the patterns for you to see. And then this blue to gray. When you see this knit up, it actually looks more like a navy, but when you look at it in person, you see more of the gray, but it doesn't knit up like that.
It's got a bright turquoise.
Oh my God, I'm just loving how these feel. And this pink, come on. I think the shawl uses both of these colors. But this has 295 yards, and it's as light as a feather. But because it's wool, it's going to continue to be really warm, or warm enough so that you can wear it on top of a sweater and stay nice and cuddly. It's just great. I can't wait to hear what kind of reaction you guys have to this yarn, and I can't wait to knit with it. I might just have to. I might have to do it.
You might just
and
have
then
to.
say the heck with everything.
You might just have to.
The other yarn that we got in is called Fiesta, which means party. And I did succumb and start knitting with this yarn. And I have to bite my tongue because last week I talked to you about not knitting on a 17 or 19, and here I am on a 17. But this is a yarn that can hold that 17 needle and knit quickly and efficiently, and it's really fun to do. I am making the vest pattern that they included with it because if you don't know that vests are going to be a thing this fall, they definitely are. Eileen Fisher already has a vest in the window, and these big, chunky, simply constructed vests are all going to be in. There isn't even really a lot of armhole shaping. It comes up straight so it falls just slightly over your shoulder to make what looks like a little bit of a cap sleeve. So I started the vest. This is 1 skein. The pattern says it's only going to take 5. It might only take 4, and I am making the second size on the pattern because I am more than halfway. I am just about at what I would consider the underarm, just in 1 skein. And look at the color.
So many.
When I opened the box, I was just, man, this is great October knitting. This is so darn fun.
I feel giddy.
It is. I mean, we're all just a little bit nuts. And I get to be nuts most of all. This is the kind of yarn that's going to be really fun in just a one skein hat. I did a simple roll hat pattern for a yarn that's similar called Confetti from Trendsetter, and this would also do the same kind of thing, just a simple little hat. You could do it in a scarf or even make some really bulky weight mittens if you wanted to, but boy, this vest is going to be a great accessory kind of piece over leggings. It's going to look terrific. So we're really excited about this one as well. I mean, there's a color there for everybody. Man, look at this one.
That green, brat green.
Oh, I love it. And then
More?
one more. I didn't show you the Bossa Nova last week, which is right here. Can you guess which color Kate is doing? Yes, we just wound this up for her. She's going to do another Sophie scarf. Oh, you're going to do the shawl? So she's going to use two skeins. She's going to make a Sophie shawl, and they all look terrific on her. And of course, these are her colors. This is another merino wool, super soft. It's not hand dyed, but it does come in both solid and multicolors. Did you find the pattern on like the first page of Ravelry today?
Yeah, it was pretty easy to find when I typed in Bossa Nova.
It is a free pattern. So Circulo has just put out this pattern using the Bossa Nova. See if you can get enough of that in. This is a simple top-down sweater done with the white and the multicolored stripes. And it's done on, I just wanted to check. It's done on a size 8 needle. And
yeah, it's a worsted weight.
I just want to see amounts.
The designer
just in 2 colors, 845. So about 5 skeins of the background, the white, and 1 or 2 skeins of the multicolor. Yeah, 16 stitches to 4 inches. So I'm gonna make that.
What colors are you gonna?
I don't know.
Have to do the white ends.
I don't know. But so if you saw, this has bell sleeves, which most people don't like. But the beauty of a top down is that you can know you don't like them and decrease accordingly and make it a regular sleeve, which is what I will do for this one, so that it has a more classic kind of fit to it. All right. I think that is it for the new yarns that I wanted to show you for this week. Next week, I'll be here this week, but next week I'll be coming to you from California. I am going out there for the week of the 16th to do some taxi driving while my son and his wife take a little vacation, but I'll be there driving the kids around and trying to learn their new language, which you might be beginning to pick up on if you're anywhere around little kids. So I will be gone just for that week and back in the store on the 23rd. So it'll just be that one Monday that I come to you from California again. And of course, I will be spending my days knitting because it'll be 6 hours a day of being alone in sunny California while the kids are in school, and my duties won't start until night. So I have lots of knitting to look forward to. And I've already made an appointment with Trendsetter Yarns. I visited them last time. It's just coincidence that they are close enough to where my son lives that I can drive over and take a little look at what their fall offerings are and place an order, and maybe even bring an empty suitcase so I can stuff it full of yarn and come right back with it. But I'll be anxious to let you all know about that. So in the meantime, I hope you enjoy this absolutely gorgeous weather. The Big E starts on Friday. And if you saw our post, I was the judge down there for the crochet. We had 135 crochet items to judge. It took me all day. I was there until almost 5:30. But the workmanship was incredible. There are also knit items, but that's a different judge. And they also had over 200 quilts. So it's quite a show. All of that stuff is displayed in the New England Center, all over the place, the walls all in the middle, and they do a great job of displaying everything. So if you get down there, make sure you get in to see all of those items and kind of clap for the people that entered and that won lots of blue ribbons. In the meantime, you know the drill. Go knit something. Bye.